It says that God's throne is upon two things. Anybody know what they are? God's throne is upon righteousness and justice. It's established upon righteousness, a standard, what is right. The clear moral standard, that is what righteousness is, the law. Here is the standard, and then justice is upholding that standard with consistency. No violation to the standard, holding everyone to the standard. So God's authority, his throne, is based upon his standard and his equal treatment to everyone according to the standard. So when God says something, when God makes a command, when God makes a judgment, it is upheld because it is consistent with the righteous standard, and he is upholding it through that judgment or that choice, that decision. In our country, we have laws. Those laws are meant to be a standard. We have a system called our justice system, and that system is meant to uphold the standard equally, with equity. No violation to the rights of an individual to be held to that standard. We have agents, commissioned officers, whose job is to uphold the standard according to consistent justice. When we have an experience of the violation of that consistency, in other words, we treat someone not equally under law, we cry foul, that was unjust. When you have a public display of that experience and the crowd sees it, recognizes it, this is what the Pharisees are trying to avoid, because they knew that their taking Jesus prisoner and killing him was not just. They knew. And they knew that the people would throw a riot. Why? Because it's a violation of what's right and true. They knew. And so in today's day and age, all of us have experienced this firsthand, where we have video now to recognize when something not just takes place. And watch what society does. Woo! Freak out. Rightfully so. But what's the demand? The demand is we be treated with justice under the standard. Or if the standard is wrong, then we change the law so that all people can be treated equally. Are you alive? That is the basis of authority. Parents, it's the basis of your authority. In your household, if you set a standard and then you hold your children to that standard, but you violate it yourself, they will cry foul. Right? Why would they listen to you? You don't take it seriously. Anytime there is injustice, there's a pain, there's an experience that begins to take place. When we feel like it's not fair, it's not okay, we experience that, there's this resentment that begins to take place. Now, what could happen in Judas's heart that resentment would take him to the point where he goes, that was it, I'm done. The straw that breaks the camel's back. Jesus says, this was done for my burial. Judas Iscariot, who was a zealot, who is trying to overthrow Rome, listens to the one we've called Messiah say he's going to submit to death. He's offended by it. He's angered by it. It goes way beyond that, y'all. There is an injustice that is being cried by these people. The disciples look at her pouring out this costly nard on Jesus' head, and they go, injustice! And they begin to revile her. And they're like, why would you do this? I cannot believe you do this. We could have sold this for the poor. And Jesus interrupts the whole thing and goes, oh, you don't understand what she's done. And then he provides a prophetic purpose for her costly offering. And when he gives explanation of the prophetic purpose of the costly offering, it shuts down the offense and forces them to have to reconcile with it. You told me before that you've experienced moments of pain in your life, experiences that are not okay, difficulties, hardships. What do you do with those? What do you tell yourself at night? What happens when the person that said forever walks out the door and says, I don't choose you anymore? What do you do with that? What happens when somebody who is supposed to be there to walk you down the aisle, the dad who is meant to defend, is taken early, and you feel the void of their absence, way too early to be gone? The cry of the heart is, why? Why did that happen? And it feels like injustice. How do you process that? Because this woman is offering the most costly thing that she has freely to Jesus. Now, we don't know. Did she know that he was going to be buried? Did she know that he was going to die? Or is this just something that welled up in her and she just felt like, I have to give what I have. Whatever I can do, I need to give it to him. We don't know if she understood. Have you ever gone through something and you just don't understand? And it sits there like a pit in your stomach. And it doesn't go away. That pit in your stomach, that resentment, if you will, the gap, that thing of like, why did this happen? When you don't understand, that thing can cause an offense. If you let there sit there long enough, you'll begin to accuse God. I want to tell you today, I want to say it as clearly as I can, that your experience in God is 100% being determined by how you tell your story to yourself. Because he has fully given himself to you. He has not restrained the outpouring of his Spirit. The flow of your life is meant to go from glory to glory to glory. You might have difficulty come against you, but how you choose to process that difficulty is determining if you'll keep moving forward or not. Y'all, this thing, I'm telling you the truth today, and if you'll get free today, if you'll receive this today, like a rocket ship, your life's about to take off. Because there's nothing standing in the way between you and fulfillment of what God has called you to. Nothing is standing in the way. Nobody can prevent you. Nobody can stand in the way, only you.